on this computer. Okay.
Hello, my name is Pat Victorson, and it's my pleasure to welcome you today on behalf of NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, Prince William Affiliate. Today, we're going to be sharing tips on mental health and self-care for parents, presented by Dr. Mercedes Ashby. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Dr. Mercedes Ashby. I am a health coach, sport and performance psychologist, and I'm currently an adjunct professor at Northern Virginia Community College. I work in the physical education and health department. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about mental health and self-care for parents. Pat and I are going to share this time together to give you guys some tips to help you through this time of post-COVID. So let's start out with what is mental health? And we just want to talk about what the 5 dimensions of health are. And that includes your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and social health. A healthy balance is necessary between all the dimensions. And just to give you an idea of mental health, as defined by the World Health Organization, is a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to her or his community. So according to the American Psychological Association, recently did a Stress in America survey of stress in the year of 2020. 84% of the people report feeling at least one emotion associated with prolonged stress. Among the highest number of people who experience stress emotions are parents of school-aged children. 42% experienced a weight gain of 29 pounds, and 18% experienced weight loss average of 26 pounds. And in a recent Harris poll, they identified 67% of people had a greater sleep disturbance and alcohol consumption increased. 53% of people said that they were less physically active during 2020. People who tend to experience the highest amount of stress were people who are responsible for their family's healthcare decisions. Parents. Stress affects everyone. There is routine stress related to daily responsibilities and traumatic stress experienced during an event such as a major accident, war, assault, or natural disaster. Pat is going to give you an overview of the difference between bad and good stress.
Okay, Dr. Ashby just referred to the difference between good stress and bad stress. Good stress is an evolutionary component of our development. It is a motivating factor. Again, it helps us get through our daily routine. It makes us get up in the morning. It makes us go to school, do our jobs, and it helps us prepare for important events. Bad stress, on the other hand, is stress that over time can impact our overall health. And that's what we want to talk about right now. Some examples of bad stress. So we know that bad stress, especially the stress that comes from ACEs or adverse childhood experiences, is something that can affect our entire physical as well as mental health. Some examples of these experiences include abuse, neglect, and household dysfunction. Some examples would be physical maltreatment, emotional abuse, and sexual abuse in children. Neglect, so the child who doesn't get enough to eat, or the child who is homeless. Emotional neglect, a child who doesn't receive love and support for his or her feelings. Household dysfunction, having a parent or family member with a mental health condition or substance abuse in the house, having an incarcerated family member, violent treatment against the mother, so domestic abuse, and a split in the family through divorce. These are some examples of stress in early life that can have a lasting impact. So again, these adverse childhood experiences can be one cause of a mental health condition. It makes us more likely to experience an injury, whether it be through accidents or other incidences. It can lead to depression, anxiety, suicide, PTSD. Women who experience adverse childhood experiences are more likely to have unintended pregnancy or complications. People are more likely to have sexual diseases, such as STDs and HIV, chronic diseases, cancer, diabetes, lung disease, obesity. They may be more likely to engage in risky behaviors. And they may not achieve or take advantages of the opportunities that life offers us. This is important because the stress that comes from these adverse experiences, not only in childhood, but also in later life. I'm thinking of a natural disaster, for example, Hurricane Katrina, or a severe automobile accident. All of these stress affects our body, our mind, our emotions, and our behaviors. Here are some of the signs that may be worrying signs of stress. So increased headaches, for example, the tightness that we feel in our body. It can result in eczema, the type of anxiety attacks that we associate with being unable to breathe, or rapid heartbeat, chills, sudden responses to stress. It can impact our emotions. We may become apathetic or alienated, self-isolating, more irritable and angry. Our thinking may be muddled. We are indecisive, make poor decisions. Our behavior can become offensive to others because we might drink more. We might smoke more. We are accident prone. We have changes in appetite and sleep habits.
So, yes, thanks, Pat, because you know what, all of that kind of really tells you that stress makes it so that you kind of lose part of yourself during these stressful times. And part of yourself is your basic self-care instincts, what you do to help yourselves. And this is what we're going to talk about, is to just really be observant and recognize your body signs. And you definitely want to talk to a healthcare professional to help you with any of those stress signs that you have. But if you are able to identify these basic self-care signs within yourself in your daily walk, you'll be able to really help a lot in combating stress. So the first basic self-care is sleep hygiene. And then we're going to talk about just briefly about a healthy diet and physical activity. And then we'll go through a couple mental skills trainings that might help you calm yourself down during stressful times. So sleep. The benefits of sleep are tremendous, and getting a good night's sleep is extremely important for resting and repairing your body. During restful sleep, your body is able to handle restorative work that cannot be handled during awake hours because your brain can focus on details that can be neglected while you're awake. Think of sleep like this: the cleanup crew after a large event has happened. They come in, take away all of the debris and junk that was left over and clean everything. And it's back in working order. And that's what happens when you sleep. When you're sleeping, your brain has an opportunity to do some work that it can't do when all the other stuff and processes are happening in your body, such as transfer and store memories. One of the first things that happens when you don't sleep well is that your memory is not as good as it could be. And that's because you didn't get regular good night's sleep. Also, body balance and weight management makes a huge difference. If you don't get at least 7 continuous hours of sleep a night, there's 2 hormones that do not release. And those are ghrelin and leptin, which tell you when you're hungry and when you are full. And if those hormones aren't working, then you have no concept of whether you're hungry or not. You eat because maybe you think it's going to give you more energy because you're not feeling well, or maybe you don't, you forget to eat. Um, Also, sleep helps in elevating your mood and helping you to feel better about everything. It's in the past, and I know you've heard this before, get a good night's rest and you'll feel better in the morning. Well, it is true, because if you sleep well at night, you'll wake up feeling well, a lot better. And so, how much sleep do you need? Well, an average adult between the ages of 18 and 64 years of age needs about 7 to 8 hours daily. And so how do you get that? I mean, because, there's so much stuff going on in the day and, you're busy, busy, busy. Well, you need to set a schedule and stick with your schedule. So if you decide that you're going to go to sleep and you're going to be in bed at 11 o'clock at night because you have to get up by 7 a.m. Well, you want to start early. You want to make sure that you're avoiding caffeine and large meals at least 4 hours before bedtime. Especially caffeine. You want to stop caffeine around 2 in the afternoon if you are going to bed around 11 at night. You also want to create a relaxing environment. You want to make sure that your bedroom is nice and comfortable, that it's dark and cool. Those are the ideal sleep conditions, is a dark, cool environment. You also might want to add, some aromatherapy, a nice smell in your room, lavender, things that are more of a relaxing. And if you know that you need to be asleep at a certain time, make sure that you're starting at least 30 minutes earlier, just relaxing, reading something that is very comforting, comforting literature, maybe listening to some very relaxing music, ocean waves, and those things will help you bring your body down to a relaxive state so that you are able to get the sleep that you need. And then the next thing is a healthy diet. So one of the most important things that you can do for yourself is to understand your body and know how many calories that you need on a daily basis in order for you to function. And a lot of times people assume that they don't need a certain amount of calories because they're trying to lose weight. That is not necessarily the case, because your body has to perform certain functions regardless of whether you think you need to lose weight or if you don't. And that is why it's important for you to understand your energy consumed versus your energy expended. So you need to understand how many calories your body needs in order to maintain normal functioning and never go below that number. So there is healthy resources, and it is a free resource, myplate.gov. It's a website that has everything that you need in order to get started on a healthy eating program. You will be able to determine how many calories that you need on a daily basis. You will be able to understand the types of food and the things that are recommended for your height and weight. And you will also be able to share recipes. They also have an app that you can have on your phone and even input the information that you're eating or check up on food. So this is a free resource that you can use to help you maintain a healthy diet. And then very importantly is physical activity. This is so important for every function in your body. Your body is made to move. And without movement, things happen that aren't good. And that's why it's important for you to understand the amount of movement that you should do on a daily basis. This is also another free resource, Physical Activity Guidelines for Americans. It's a little booklet that you can download, and it talks to you about the Move Your Way program, because you don't have to conform to going to a gym or doing anything that is outside of your comfort level, but you do need to do some type of physical activity. Okay, so this book will help you identify certain aspects of how you can do these things at home or any environment. You need to get at least 150 hours per week of some type of activity, 2 days a week of strength training, but don't even get caught up in that. Even 5 minutes a day of physical activity has real health benefits in your body. So we can all look at ourselves and see where we can be more active. For example, when you go to the mall, instead of going up and down the aisles, looking for the closest space to the door, just go ahead and get that parking space that's way far away. And that could be part of your physical activity. Instead of when you go grocery shopping, maybe getting the seated cart, do everything from a standing position. These type of things make the biggest difference. Instead of taking an elevator, take the steps. Do more movement. Instead of not going upstairs right now and putting things off, go upstairs in your house a couple times a day in order to keep the movement up. This will make the biggest difference. And also there's another link here to the body weight planner. This is also from the National Institute of Health that provides a free analysis for you that gives you a data and planning of how many calories you need to take in, and will help you map out a 365-day program for yourself so that you can reach a healthy weight or maintain a healthy weight. And then lastly, that I'm going to talk about are some type of mental skills training that can really help you calm yourself and maybe get started on being more mindful and, reducing your multitasking, just focusing a little bit more. And the 3 techniques are awareness, body. We're going to do a body scan, and we're going to work on some focused breathing. So the first thing, and I wanted to let you know that all of these techniques are in the relaxation and stress workbooks, 6th edition. And this book is on Amazon. It is an Audible book that you can listen to as well, but it's very, very helpful in getting you started on more stress relaxation exercises. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is awareness. In awareness, you want to sit up comfortably, wherever you're at, lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders, and I want you to just become aware of your external environment. And that includes you using all of your five senses to become aware of what's going on around you. So let's start by focusing your attention on the outside world. I want you to become aware of any noises that you hear around you, identify them, and move on. And then focus your attention on what's going on inside of you. Become aware of your breath, your stomach, how your spine feels, any tension you have in your neck, shoulders. So right now, I want you to shuttle between your external environment and your internal, and become aware of the difference between the two. This is the first step on centering yourself. The second step is body scan. So you want to begin by becoming aware of the rising and falling of your breath in your chest and belly. You can ride the waves of your breath and let it begin to anchor you to the present moment. Bring your attention to the soles of your feet and notice any sensation that is present there. Without judging or trying to make it different, simply be present with the sensation. After a few moments, imagine that your breath is flowing into the soles of your feet. And as you breathe in and out, you might experience an opening or softening and a release of tension. Just simply observe it. Now bring your attention to the rest of your feet, up to your ankles, and become aware of any sensation in this part of your body. After a few moments, imagine that your breath, instead of stopping at the diaphragm, flows all the way down to your feet. Breathe into and out of your feet, simply noticing the sensation. Proceed up your body in this manner with all the parts of your body: lower legs, knees, thighs, pelvis, hips, and buttocks, lower back, upper back, your chest and your belly, your upper shoulders, your neck and your head and your face. Take your time to really feel each body part and notice whatever sensations are present without forcing them or trying to make them be different. Then breathe into the body part and let go of it as you move on to the next body part. And then the last technique that we're going to practice is called focus breathing. And this technique can be used anytime you feel anxiety, you feel anxious. And when you think about this technique, it is a natural flow for your body, because if you ran a marathon, the first thing that you're going to do when you finish is exhale. And that's the first thing that you do when you feel any anxiety in your body. You simply exhale. And you're going to start by just sighing deeply and letting out a sound of deep relief as the air rushes out of your lungs. Don't think about inhaling. Just let the air come in naturally, and just repeat this whenever you feel the need throughout the day. Also, another technique that will help you become more focused, get more oxygen to your brain, is yawning. So you're going to open your mouth wide and stretch your arms over your head. And once your arms are over your head and your mouth is open wide, want you to yawn loudly if you can. And after that yawn, you will feel a sensation in your head. And just repeat this as many times as you need in order to get that oxygen to your brain. And just take a step back and notice how you feel. And we just want to continue and talk a little bit more. Pat's going to talk to you about the National Alliance on Mental Illness of Prince William.
Well, I hope that Mercedes, Dr. Ashby's suggestions have relieved some of the stress you may have felt, that you will avoid the bad stress, the toxic stress that can harm your overall health. But we want you also to know that in case you are concerned about mental health conditions, you're showing some of the signs of intense, long lasting stress, that you can feel that you can turn to the National Alliance on Mental Illness for education, support, and advocacy. And our motto is strength through experience, because we are folks who have lived experience. NAMI includes families, individuals, professionals who have either experienced a mental health condition or have loved ones with a mental health condition, or in some cases have the mental health condition and have additional relatives or loved ones with mental health conditions. Again, we provide free support, education, and advocacy for all ages. We believe that mental health conditions are no-fault conditions and that everyone deserves an opportunity for recovery. We'd like to see a world free of the stigma and discrimination that sometimes prevents people from receiving the support that they need. Mental health conditions are situations in which the brain is not functioning properly. One may have difficulty thinking, focusing, emotional highs and lows, and sleeping problems may be involved. Again, when these conditions are so severe that it disrupts a person's life and daily functioning, we say that the person has a mental health condition or a mental illness. NAMI, again, exists because we want to help those who have mental health conditions and those whose family members are also impacted by those mental health conditions. Again, mental health conditions are are unlike certain other conditions because they affect the way a person feels, acts, and believes. That makes them more challenging. We sometimes say that mental health conditions aren't casserole illnesses. If someone has cancer, we bring that Jell-O mold or the macaroni and cheese to their door. In the case of mental health, people are more likely to step away from that person. So we have a lot of programs. I want to run through these just very quickly. We have programs, again, for people who have a mental health condition. Those include peer-to-peer, which is an educational program, and NAMI Connections, a support group. We also have programs for family members. NAMI Family to Family is an educational program that helps family members learn how to better communicate, empathize, understand, and support their loved ones' recovery from a mental health condition. Family support groups meet to share group wisdom about their experience with their loved ones. NAMI Homefront is an educational program for both military service members and their families. As parents, you'll be particularly interested in the programs that we offer for parents of youth and children. NAMI Basics, which is a 6-week course. Children's Challenging Behaviors, which is offered in a seminar format over 1 or 2 days. And then family support groups specifically for parents of children, parents or caregivers of children 17 or younger. For youth and young adults, we have Ending the Silence for students, which is designed for middle and high school students. This program meets the State Board of Education requirement for mental health education. NAMI on Campus focused on college-age students, and a variety of youth groups, including Youth Move. Our presentations include NAMI Family and Friends, which is an introduction to mental health conditions. It can be offered in a 90-minute or 4-hour format. It also provides some suggestions for coping skills, but to better understand what a mental health condition is like. In Our Own Voice includes people in recovery from a mental health condition talking about their journey. And again, Ending the Silence is also available for parents and for school staff. So we have 3 versions of Ending the Silence that are available. We have a helpline, we have a Facebook page, and we have an annual fundraiser called NAMI Walks. In Prince William, we invite you to contact us at our helpline number, 703-659-9983. This is a message service, and we will respond to your calls. We also have an email, and you can direct questions there. Also a website. So please take advantage of the resources that we offer. Again, all of our programs are free and open to anyone residing in Prince William County. Thanks very much for joining us today.